It was a very good idea. I think, for Moments in Time to bring us all together like this, I think for them as well, they want us to get to know each other. It was like going Buckingham Palace, going for this big dinner and walking down the red carpet. It was really special. It was really nice.
When I stepped onto the red carpet, it was just beautiful, all the lights and the beautiful table, the flowers, and it was just all the positiveness in the world was just in that one room. And it was really a celebration of life, and everything was just life and positiveness.
There is one thing when everything else has been taken away from you. There is one thing that no one can take away. Man's final freedom, your final freedom, was to choose your attitude.
Moments in Time celebrates the legacy of individuals living with cancer. Every year, featured within the pages of the calendar and other products, are men, women, and children who have embraced the challenges of this devastating disease with courage, dignity, and an enduring sense of hope. Some have survived, others have not, but all have carved out a bold legacy which stands as proud testimony to man's freedom to choose his attitude, no matter what his circumstance. The 2009 project celebrates the lives of 13 individuals drawn from previous Moments in Time projects and their journey through cancer from the time they were first featured until today, from then until now. On the 6th of July 2008, these 13 individuals came together under a sweeping high-felt sky to share their stories of hope and joy and courage and loss, and to celebrate the triumph of the human spirit in a simple and beautiful dinner, or feast to life. These unique stories, reflecting light in the presence of darkness, peace in the midst of turmoil, and hope in the face of despair, have been distilled into a collective legacy which represents the essence of Moments in Time and the very heart of what it means to be human. AstraZeneca Pharmaceuticals proudly presents the 2009 Moments in Time experience.
I was 16 years old, so I was a bit young to really understand the consequence of what was about to happen to me. But of course, as young as I was shocked, because you always expect it to happen to older people. You always hear of old people having cancer. You'd never hear of a 16-year-old, a teenager having cancer, so it was quite a shock.
Yeah, it was difficult, very difficult when I get that I'm diagnosed with cancer itself, you know. Because in our culture, I never believed that cancer was for the black people.
I had a 1-year plan, a 6-month plan, a 6-year plan, a 10-year plan, a 20-year plan, you name it, I knew. I'm a control freak, so it was planned down, planned to the last second almost. I didn't plan this. So in that instant, everything that I had ever planned fell away.
Every time I get a pain in my body or could be a sports injury, and then you just get that voice in the back of your mind that says, "Yeah, it's back." It'll always be there for the rest of your life, you know. I'm still very scared of death. I'll never make peace with it.
When I got diagnosed and I was 34 years old, and Dion was 4 and Martin was 6 at the time, and I just knew that, I want to be there and tell them not to wear their hair in a middle path, and, just at least to teach them to fry an egg, and just so that I know that they'll be okay.
I get angry sometimes. I don't know if it's anger or maybe it's loss. When I think about how different our lives could have been. When I was diagnosed, my husband and I were looking at starting a family, and now we can't have children. So, and particularly as a woman, you think, well, now what's my legacy and what's my purpose?
I wanted her to be like normal children, like a normal child, to run around and be like she used to be. And it was difficult for me to accept that she wasn't ever going to be like that.
And that sense of loss is quite hard to explain. I think you have to feel it to appreciate the things you have around you. Anything can happen to you tomorrow. It doesn't have to be cancer. So I don't fear that it will come back, but you've just got to be aware. You can't put it out of your mind altogether and say, it happened, it's never going to happen again. Because no one can say that. Even if they've never had cancer, you can't say that.
Okay, essentially when Kashmira was diagnosed with acute lymphoblastic leukemia, it has actually made me realize that I need to maybe spend more time meditating and praying. And for me, when I step out of that prayer room, I know things are going to be okay, because prayer gives me hope.
You can't lose hope. If you lose hope, you're gonna break down and you get more sick. So you really have to be positive. This whole thing is just being about positive. Yes, I was sick, I was just miserable, but I never ever lost hope.
You have to have hope. If you don't have hope, you've got nothing. And people who are ill, I think that's all they do have, is hope. They've got, they lean on their doctors and they lean on the medicines that they get. And they hope that something else comes along that's going to fight with them and will win their fight. And it's very sad if you lose hope. I mean, if I could say to people who are suffering now, for the people around you, never ever lose hope. Because once, if your partner or your family sees that you've lost hope, what have they got?
Lance Armstrong had a very little chance of survival, but despite his odds, he maintained a positive outlook, and obviously history will tell you the rest.
How many people do you know where you actually physically are given a second chance at life? You carry on in your life. You kind of take everything for granted. How many people do you know get given the gift where You value things. You almost get told, hey, listen, wake up, value it. How many people do you know get that wake-up call? It's a choice. It literally comes down to a choice. You choose to live or die, and not necessarily physically live or die, but live or die inside. You know, you could exist, but you're not living. And that's the thing, is that you choose your attitude.
With anything going wrong in your life or anything, if you don't take a positive attitude towards it, you are going to be horribly miserable. It's going to be, anything will be a catastrophe. And if it's happened, and there's only one way, is to work through it. I don't know, it's there, things happen, and is there any use in crying over it? You've got to accept it and look at the positive side of anything.
Sometimes we as human beings, and I'm not criticizing or wanting, we as human beings place our focus on what we don't have. And then we try and achieve that. If we can maybe just shift it slightly, and we'll save ourselves a minute and focus on what we do have. And try and make full use and push that to the full, then maybe some way or the other we will get to what we do want.
I remember there was one doctor at the hospital there who told me, Patrick, never ask yourself why this happened to you, you know. God has a purpose, God has got an aim about you. He's got a new plans about you, changing your life and making your life better. I never believed that. And then one time I was watching TV, I saw a big guy, Fanny Lombard, if you know him, he's a world record holder. So I saw him, that guy was big, and then I'm thin like this, you know. So I said, no, that guy can't beat me, man. I have to start something, you know. On the same year, I went for national championships. And I break the South African record for the first time. I was like, wow, really my life is changing now. It's getting somewhere, because I've been playing sports for a long time. I've never been in a national team or anything else.
I used to play rugby with the guys during breaks on one crutch. I didn't have a problem with that. Coaching at the high school level, you know, I've never lost a game. So that's quite good.
Because it's easy to say, be positive, or the glass is half full, or look on the bright side. And courage is about digging deep every day and saying, when you look in the mirror, you don't look so beautiful, or you don't feel so hot, but you're here to live another day and do another moment.
I have faith in God. I think positive. I never give up. And I will never like to have leukemia again.
You learn a hell of a lot about people. I learned a hell of a lot about my husband. I was married to him for 7.5 years. I knew him for 2 years before that. So I'd known somebody for a decade, and I never knew the side of him. He didn't know the side of him. So the cancer experience gives you a it puts you in a different perspective. You know, the chemo does lots of things to any human being. It's poison, literally. It's going to kill off cells, but while it's busy killing off the cancer cells, it's killing off the good cells as well. So chemo does a lot of things to lots of people, in women especially, and especially women of childbearing age. So I found out I was pregnant, and you know, initially it was almost as though I didn't want to hear the news. When she said to me, I burst into tears, because I thought, oh God, now I've got to face all those things that they said to me that why I shouldn't have a child. And even more so now, because now you're going to have a little baby, and you're going to have a little somebody that you're going to be responsible for, and you can't afford to die, let's be honest. So what I did was that, you know, I just prayed every day. And then come October 2007, the 13th of October, we gave birth, or I gave birth to a little baby girl, and she's a couple of months old now, and she has brought so much of joy, and that's what helps me to kind of deal with the fact that I can't get cancer again. I can't.
It was
probably easier a couple of weeks after she had passed, and it seems to get a little bit more difficult as the realization comes in, that she's not coming back. She would call it her D-Day, when she'd go in and get results of blood tests. If they were positive that the cancer had flared up again. Those were obviously upsetting times, but she had a moment to cry in the doctor's room, and then she'd pick herself up and she'd walk outside, and that was it. She'd start her fight right there. The message that Lela left to everybody is just, don't hide away with this thing. The more people know about it, or the more people who know about your illness, the better it is for everybody around them. Then there's no skeletons in the closet. We have our moments, people say it gets easier as time goes on, but I think you need a lot of time. It is hard. It's hard for our boys. It's hard to lose a mom at 10 or 11 years old. I think those are the tough times. I will be sad for a long time, but I'll deal with it in my own way.
We're lying outside on our grass the one day, and Natalie said to me, "Wow, isn't life just so perfect? We've got everything. We've got a beautiful house, we've got our cars, we've got our beautiful son, everything's perfect." 2 months later, the world turned upside down.
It was, quite horrific, really. We didn't really know or understand anything about childhood cancers. We had to adjust, obviously. But we learned to get through the day, and we drew a lot from him as well, because children are happy no matter what. We got more and more positive about the whole situation. There are days when you feel sorry for yourself and why me and all that, but we used to have to remind ourselves that it's not about us, it's about Luke. And not to just give up and, not want to carry on. You need to, you have to. He kept going. We couldn't stop. We had to keep going with him. And that was his essence, really.
Well, on his last brain surgery, before he went into his coma, we had to push him up in a little, in the hospitals they got those little cars. He wouldn't go up in his bed. He'll squint, he could hardly see, he could hardly walk, but he insisted on getting pushed up into theatre in this little car.
And he was as happy as anything.
Yeah. So, right up until the end, he didn't give up.
He never gave up.
Can be ours no matter what. Whenever life throws its weight on us, we'll never bend, though faith is all we've got. We can choose to have it all, no matter what burdens we may bear. We'll never bend, we'll all sing with one voice.
This is an enormous evening. Most of you did not know or even dream that so many years later we would all be able to have this communion with each other. It's about your journey. It's absolutely astounding because the stories are so similar. The perspectives are so different, but the stories are the same. They are the stories of hope, the stories of courage, the stories of choosing your attitude. And tonight is about saluting you all. It's not so easy. One has to reaffirm every day the whole concept of choosing your attitude. Because if one doesn't do that on a daily basis, we will lose that vision and we will lose our personal power. And every single person around this table stands out in my mind as an observer. You've chosen your attitude under any set of circumstances. It's an affirmation of those things that we believed in, that you have all overcome. And tonight is about saluting that. I said tonight that that Lela and Luke are going to be representative of those warriors who are no longer with us. Luke has left a legacy which will never, ever pass. And this little boy is here with us this evening. I would like to read you the poem for him. See the wisdom in an open face, a sublime warrior in a child's body, a clear understanding of a destiny already set. One is not born with wisdom. What can be seen here is simply the uncluttered reflection of truth by a pure spirit. Lela passed away 3 months ago. She had a living funeral and she invited all of her friends to say goodbye. Boys, you were there. Brendan. And I know again that she is here with us tonight. And I just want to pay tribute to her. I've been broken, but still am strong. The road I've come has been so long. Now my days are filled with giving as I honor the joy of living. What I would like to do is to honor those warriors who are no longer with us. And we are going to give very special tribute tonight to represent the 21 people that have passed away, to Luke and to Lela. Razia, could you honor those who've gone before?
And in loving memory, 2003, Michael Clark, Mrs. F. Calandris, Monique van Rensburg, Lela Cullingworth, Denise Haynes, Andrew Makondozi, Mrs. Takela. 2004, Henrik Maponyani, Roger Damon. 2005, Teresa Murray, Teresa Brent, Tabang Masheka, Benjamin Letebele. 2006, T.D. Mashesh, Luke Deeb, Reverend Muloy, Ukule Chongweni. 2007, Suling Tong, Steph Leroux. 2008, Geraldine Manson, Nora Margaret Lever.
May I ask you all to stand with your glasses and drink a toast to their courage and to your courage. Natalie, Luke's mother, and Brendan, Lela's husband, are going to respond on behalf of Luke and Lela.
The name Luke means light or bearer of light. And it's just amazing that we chose this name for him because the light that he brought into our lives was radiant, filled with energy, warm and loving. And that's the way that we remember him. Luke has recently been reunited with his grandmother, my mom, who passed away just 2 short weeks ago, also from cancer. We love them and we'll miss them both. And as a couple of my mom's friends said to her before she passed away, say hi to Cool Hand Luke for me. So I'm sure they're having a great time. We love and miss them, and we'll soon be reunited. Thank you.
Brendan, could I ask you to speak on behalf of Lela?
You know, the thing is with Lela, she had an unbelievable attitude, and Matt spoke about the attitude. She decided to take this attitude and fight cancer, and it never ever got the better of her. The fact that it took her life was just one of those things, unfortunately, but it never touched her spirit, not once. We're going to miss her. I think plenty of people are going to miss her. And she fought so long. I don't think there's many people who managed to get through stage 4 as long as Lela did, and I know she did that for her 2 boys. And thank you for this opportunity. Ross wants to say something as well.
On behalf of my brother and I want to say thank you. The moments in time for being there with my mom all through cancer. Thank you. And I know my mom will always shine down on you, saying thank you as well.
Through opportunities like Moments in Time, we celebrate the lives that these people have lived. To all of them, cheers. Thank you.
I think last night just made sense, and it was time, it was my celebration as well as everybody else's, and it was so nice and it was so beautiful, and it meant so much.
Moments in Time for this weekend surprisingly has brought me closer to my brother, which is amazing. And for all of us to be here tonight is pretty amazing too. So the point is, we're like brothers and sisters, and that makes a family, but there's no mom and dad, which is all of us.
The experience about Moments in Time has been fabulous. You know, it's given me an opportunity to see and to chat with other people with cancer, as well as I feel that I'm giving something back. You know, I've received so much in my health and that at this stage. I'm giving back now, you know, to whoever else needs, you know, just a thought or, you know, a little bit of advice. So that's what I've got out of Moments in Time, is that I've been given the opportunity and the platform then to give back to other people.
That's the main thing that I like about Moments in Time, taking the message out to the people itself, you know. So I really like it. That's a very great job that they do it.
I think it's cool. I mean, my mom's got a calendar that she hangs on the wall, and then like every time I walk past, I'm like, gee, that's me, oh my word. And it looks really nice.
I think it's brilliant. I think Moments in Time, the whole project, everything. I didn't even know about Moments in Time when I was diagnosed, but when I did my first calendar shoot with them in 2005, it's unbelievable what they do, and it's a good way to get out there to other people who are diagnosed, and there is someone out there who's willing to help.
Just look forward, don't look back. You can only come right by looking forward and deciding you are not going to let this beat you.
I can't forget to live. I want to make enough memories
that if something does happen, people have enough things to remember you by that they're not worried that they will forget you. You know, I've laughed more than I've cried, and I've had more awesome memories than sad ones. And I've met people along this process that give everything they've got for someone they don't even know.
Everyone's living for when they retire one day, or when, you know, they're older. It doesn't matter if you're here for 5 years or 10 or 50, it's that you really lived for the moment.